Hello, in this video we're looking at issue 79 of Warhammer 40,000 Imperium magazine, where the Imperium is starting its final assault on the Dolmen Gate. Hello, I'm Mike and this is Will. We are the Tabletop Donkeys.
Hello.
And in this video we're looking at issue 79 of Warhammer 40,000 Imperium magazine. And in this issue we got the first of two sprues to build Roboute Guilliman, the Primarch of the Ultramarines. And as always, if you'd like to skip ahead to today's battle, you can do so using the timecode in the description or the chapter bars. Having a look through the issue first. First up, we have a battle record for Roboute Guilliman, a Primarch of the 13th Space Marine Legion, the Ultramarines, who was returned to life, as we learned in a previous episode. So you can see he wields the Emperor's Flaming Sword, as well as the Hand of Dominion on his left hand. He also wears the Armour of Fate, which was designed by Belisarius Cawl, which stops the poison that the Demon Primarch Fulgrim inflicted on Guilliman from killing him. And there we have a battle record, so obviously you can keep track of the achievements. Then a bit more of his background lore. So obviously he is a Primarch, so he was created by the Emperor of Mankind to lead the Ultramarines and be their Genesire. He fought many battles during the Horus Heresy, but unfortunately, due to the actions of the traitors, he was unable to reach the Siege of Terra in time to have an impact on the outcome. And he is also the writer of the Codex Astartes, which describes how the Space Marines should be organised and how they should go about warfare, and is basically the reason why the legions were devolved into smaller chapters. And here we have his current lore. So he is the Lord Commander of the Imperium, having been revived after his apparent death in combat against Fulgrim. And despite his dismay at the state of the Imperium as it is now, he has taken up the mantle as the leader of Imperial forces as a whole. And he's set on the Indomitus Crusade to reunite the two halves of the Imperium and try and restore some order after the opening of the Great Rift. And then we have phase 2 of the Battle of Obelisk and Lyrak. Here, after the forces of the Death Guard have been rampaging across the subsector, luckily for the forces of Metallica, some more Imperial reinforcements arrived, including a Grey Knight strike cruiser, and that seemed to turn the tide against the Death Guard. Unfortunately, Typhus's great plan, sacrificing many souls on various planets, was able to unleash some things called the Malefic Malignifiers, which effectively allowed Noel's influence to spread across the subsector and infect various planets, and even created a rift in the warp itself, allowing Typhus to bypass the Metallican gates and endanger the Forge World itself. And now we have the final installment of the story of rogue trader Sonara von Hart. She and her crew have headed to the pleasure world of Reth for some much needed rest and relaxation. Unfortunately for her, Inquisitor Janos Malak has requisitioning her little flotilla to hunt down the rogue trader Linus Sloane. So this goes over her journey to rendezvous with some Mechanicus and Inquisitorial forces and hunt down the traitor. And then we have the Battle of Helaxia, where the forces of Sonara and her Inquisitor allies were able to disable and board Sloane's flagship and apprehend him. But unfortunately, the Void Mistress was disabled in combat by Sloane's Eldari allies and fell to the nearby planet and was destroyed, and no trace of Sonara von Hart was found. And here we have the build guide for Roboute Guilliman. He is fairly simple to put together, even for such a detailed miniature. So you have a choice of 2 different heads and then 4 sub-assemblies for the man himself. The first sub-assembly is his body and arms, and then his scenic base, which you can put straight onto the base. And then the third sub-assembly is the wings and halo that go on the top of his backpack. And then the 4th sub-assembly is his head. But obviously the painting guide will be in the next issue, so I'll hand you over to Will, who will take us into today's game.
But we don't have any new rules in this issue. We'll get Roboute Guilliman's rules next issue when he's finished. So we're straight into today's game. The Imperium have breached the Necron stronghold and opened a way to get to the Dolmen Gate, so they're launching a desperate assault to try and destroy it, knowing that they don't have the numbers for a protracted combat. But unfortunately it's very heavily defended, and so they're going to have to fight hard to get there. And the Necrons are still confident of victory because they know that the Imperial forces are launching their final gambit. But on the next page, it actually explains Roboute Guilliman's plan, which is to draw the Necrons into a large engagement so that a smaller force can in fact sneak in and destroy the dolmen gate. And it mentions here that all 3 branches of the Imperial forces are participating. And here is our veteran mission, the Hammer Blow, which is a 75 power mission, and there's quite a lot of rules. So I'll actually show you the battlefield first. We've got the Player A deployment zone, which is the Necrons, who are also the Defender, which takes up half of the battlefield along a long edge. The Imperium are Player B and the Attacker, and they have a deployment zone that is 12 inches away from the front of the Necron deployment zone, as you can see there. Obviously this is all on 4 battle maps. There are no objective markers marked because the Necron player places one at a time 8 objective markers, and each one must be more than 9 inches from a battlefield edge and more than 9 inches from any objective marker that's already been placed. No more than 4 can be in the defender's deployment zone. The remainder must be set up more than 3 inches from their deployment zone. At the start of the battle, all of the objectives are considered to be controlled by the defender, even if they don't have any models within range of them. But the Imperium can do the plant banner action on an objective. 1 or more units can do this at the end of the attacker's movement phase. They're in range of an objective marker that doesn't have a banner already on it and no enemy units within range of it. It's completed at the end of the turn, and if it's successfully completed, the objective marker is considered to be permanently under the attacker's control for the remainder of the battle. The Imperium also benefits from the sustained assault rule. They roll a d6 for each of their units at the end of their movement phase that's been destroyed, adding 1 of its troops unit. On a 6+, an identical unit is added to their army and set up immediately as though it had just arrived from strategic reserves. And the attacker can also, at the end of their turn, remove any units from the battlefield that have a quarter or fewer of their starting number of models, or a quarter less of the starting wounds if it's a single model, and count it as being destroyed, essentially to have a chance of it coming back again. The primary objective is hold at all costs, which is at the end of the game, which will be 5 battle rounds. Each player scores 15 victory points for each objective marker they control. Players can also pick the Annihilation secondary objective, and if you do that you keep a tally of kill points every time an enemy model is destroyed, or 10 if the model had a wounds characteristic of 10 or more, and if models are destroyed or come back in some way, that can add to the tally again. And at the end of the battle you divide that number by 10, rounding down, and you've scored that many victory points. So that's the details for our penultimate veteran mission. We'll set up the board and deploy our models and the objectives, and then get into our game. So here's my Necron army. We're being led by the Catacomb Command Barge. It has to be the Warlord. Its Warlord trait will be Thrall of the Silent King, which increases its aura ranges. We've also got the Destroyer Lord, the Chronomancer, who will have the Counter-Temporal Nanomines Arcana, and the Plasmancer, who will have the Quantum Orb Cryptic Arcana. He's accompanied by 2 Crypto Thralls. We've got the usual 3 troops units. We've also got 5 Lich Guard, 5 Deathmarks, 3 Destroyers with the Plasma Sight, 3 Wraiths, 3 Tomb Blades, and 2 units of 3 Counter Scarabs. And here we have the Imperial force.
So it's probably looking fairly familiar, going for a mix of all 3. Got Kjalma in the middle, who's going to be my Warlord, a Primarch Lieutenant, and the Tech Priest Dominus. Going for as many troops choice as I can justify. We got the Skitai Rangers, the Battle Sisters, 2 units of 5 Assault Intercessors, a unit of 5 Infiltrators, and the Canton Destroyers. They're all troops choices. And I've also got the Suppressors, the Outriders, the Eliminators, and the Aggressors.
So we've deployed our armies on the board, which we set up as you can see. I'll go over where the objectives are first. Objectives 1 to 4 are closer to the camera in the Necron deployment zone. Number 2 is just under the command barge there. Obviously I placed all the objectives, so I placed 4 in my deployment zone about as far back as they could go, although the front 2 are in the middle so that I can be a bit closer to them with my models, rather than right at the back of the board. 6 and 7 are in the centre towards the Imperial deployment zone, so I can hopefully contest those at least. Whereas 5 and 8 in the top left and top right respectively are right over in the corners, basically to try and force an Imperial unit to stand in the corner for a turn so they can raise the banner, because there's no way I can hold all the objectives, so that was my thinking anyway. So having a look at my deployment, this is the left-hand side as you see it. So I've got the Wraiths right up far forward as far as they can go, because my deployment zone extends right up to the middle of the board. Some Scarabs behind them, and behind them is the Immortals and the Chronomancer. To the right of all of that is the unit of Necron Warriors, the Gauss Flayers, and the Catacomb Command Barge. And the rest of it, so right in the middle on top of a building are the Death Marks. In the building, which you can't quite see, is the Crypto Thralls and the Plasmancer. The Tomb Blades are at the back, the Lich Guard are forward behind the blue container. And then on the right hand side we've got the other unit of Warriors, the Destroyers, Plasma Sight, the Destroyer Lord, and the Scarabs on top of that building up there. And I didn't put anything in strategic reserves or translocation or anything either. So here's the Imperial deployment.
Yeah, so on my right flank I've got a unit of Assault Intercessors and the Battle Sisters, standing on Objective 5. Most of my force in the middle, we've got the Eliminators, the Lieutenant, the Outriders, Kjalma, the Suppressors, just all on the edge of that building with the Aggressors in front of them. And the Infiltrators can start very slightly further ahead, so they're all hiding in the structure as well. I've got my Admech contingent towards my left, the Skitarii Rangers, the Catapult Destroyers and the Tech Priest Dominus, and then my last unit of Assault Intercessors on my far left flank on Objective 8. So I picked Divine Guidance for my Sacred Right, and I'm going to take the Annihilation, the mission-based secondary, just for a bit of variety, not just taking attrition every game.
And I'm going to take Raise the Banners High, because I might actually be able to raise a few banners and get some points out of that, hopefully be able to max out on 15. But that means we're just rolling off to see who gets the first turn. Well, I've rolled 5.
I have not.
So I suppose I will go first, because that would make sense. So Necron's turn 1. We're going to do Protocol of the Sudden Storm, and I'll go for the directive where I can do actions and still shoot, so that I can raise a lot of banners and still shoot with those units.
I've got a 5 for my Miracle Dice, so my Canticle is going to be Shroud Psalm, and my Doctrine is going to be the Bulwark Imperative with an extra save.
So in my command phase, my Will Be Done went on the Warriors. You can see at the bottom of the picture there. The Wraiths have zoomed all the way up front of those Assault Intercessors by Objective 5. The Scarabs are just in the building, holding back for now. Down here we put the Chronomatron on the Immortals, who've moved up. They're going to raise a banner on Objective 2. They are within 3 inches just about of it there. The Chronomancer is just going to hang back, but he will raise the banner on Objective 1. Again, he's just within 3 inches. That's at the end of the movement phase. Death Marks will stay where they are. Those warriors I mentioned have moved up towards Objective 6. Command Barge has flown after them. The Lich Guard are going to stay put for now because they're in cover, and the alternative would just be to run out into line of sight. The Crypto Thralls will move up to the edge of the building, allowing the Plasmarcher to just get a little bit ahead there. He's going to be raising the banner on Objective 3, or the Crypto Thralls can do it, doesn't actually matter. The Tomb Blades have come across to this side of the board, and the Warriors with the Chaos Reapers moved up, so they're just about within range of Objective 7, and they'll start to raise the banner on that. And finally over here, the Scarabs have zoomed ahead, Scorpic Destroyers and the Plasma Sight have gone off after Objective 8, and the Destroyer Lord will stay back here to raise the banner on Objective 4. And also in the command phase, that black die there represents where I've put the Quantum Orb, so in my next command phase, things within 6 inches of that might take mortal wounds. End of the movement phase, Plasmarcher as Harbinger of Destruction will hit the Infiltrators as the closest visible unit. They take 2 mortal wounds. I'll kill 1. We'll do some shooting with the Wraiths first of all. They're all in range of the Eliminators, so they'll shoot at them. But they did nothing at all. So I'm going to do these Warriors with Gauss Flayers next. They're going to shoot at the Infiltrators in cover in the building there, because it's the only target they'll all be in range of. And they got 11 wounds.
So 11, 4+ saves because we got cover. We failed 5. One of those will get scrubbed by the medic, so 2 die.
So we'll switch over to the Command Barge now. It's going to shoot at the Aggressors.
So I'm going to spend a command point for transhuman on the aggressors.
So we've now got 3 shots which hit on 2s, so there's a miss, and wound on 4s. 1 wound.
So 5+ because we got cover. Nope.
D3 damage. 2. The Immortals are going to shoot at the aggressors as well. Only getting 1 wound though.
So 4+ save. Made it.
And all these warriors will try and finish off the Infiltrators. Getting 6 wounds.
Yep, we're still in cover, so 3s. Oh, they're all dead. Failed 4.
Well, they might come back next turn. I've only got the Death Marks and the Tomb Blades left. Both of the Cryptex are out of range, so the Tomb Blades will shoot the aggressors as well. That finished off the wounded one. The Particle Beam are actually not in range of anything anyway. Also spent a command point to re-roll an armor save with the aggressors, which you didn't get back. Finally, the Death Marks will just shoot at them as well. They had a decent round, getting 3 mortal wounds, 3 6s to wound, and had also wounds in themselves.
Yeah, so -2, so 4s. Sarge is alive on 2 wounds.
That's all the shooting. On to the charge phase, where the Destroyers will have a go at those Assault Intercessors, although the Plasma Sight will try and juice them up as they go in. So on a 1 dies. Nope, we're good. And then their charge is going to be a 7. That was indeed enough, gets them over there. Wraiths next, so charge just these Assault Intercessors. They're just going to be in automatically. These Scarabs might as well declare a long charge on those Eliminators, because they can't be seen, so they can't overwatch, so it's nothing to lose, but they're bringing about 12. No, they're not in with a 6, I won't re-roll that. Finally, these other Scarabs will charge the Skitarii Rangers.
Go Overwatch. Do I get the command point back? Nope. No hits at all from Overwatch.
So then they're just charging. Oh, that should be in. That'll be it for charges. I'm going to pick the Scorpic Destroyers to fight first.
Going to do transhuman physiology on those Assault Assessors.
Thanks to the Plasma Sight, we've got 10 attacks with the Hyperphage Threshers, which hit on 3s re-rolling 1s. Imperium did get a command point back for transhuman though from Calgar. 6 hits winning on 4s. Just 1.
6. Oh, saved.
And the Reap Blade, 4 attacks on 3s re-rolling 1s. They will hit. And 4s. So 2 dead.
I'm going to spend 2 command points to interrupt with these Assault Intercessors. This guy is moving to base contact with that race, so they can't pile into their Bound Assessors. Also spending another command point for Gene-wrought Might on those Assault Intercessors, so 6s to hit, automatically wound, and we got 21 attacks. Only 3 auto wounds. 11 regular hits, wounding on 5s. Getting 2 more, so it's only 5 wounds in total.
Wraiths will be on 4s though. Oh, we failed 4, so we will lose an entire Wraith. Does it come back? No. So again, the Wraith striking back can't pile in, so 8 attacks on 4s, 6 hits. Moving on 3s, 5 wounds.
5 plus saves. Made 3.
Oh, only 2 dead. And then I did the Scarabs. They only killed 1 Ranger, but more importantly, they piled into the Cataphrons. And the Rangers and the Cataphrons hitting back killed 1 Scarab base.
Someone that says hitting back didn't achieve anything at all.
And that will be the end of Necron's turn 1. I've raised 4 banners, and the Imperium have killed 2 models for their secondary so far. So on to Imperium turn 1.
Kind of splitting my forces in 2 on my right. Some of the assessors are falling back around the race. Bastards have moved across so that the race don't get any cover. Outriders have moved so they can get range and take objective 6. Eliminator's going to stay where they are. Lieutenant's moving across to possibly help finish up the wraiths. All the Scutari have fallen back from the 2 Scarabs. Aggressor Sergeant's moved across to try and finish with them. Calgar's chapter ability went on the Suppressors and he's come across with them, while the Assault Assessors have fallen back from the Destroyers. And at the end of the movement phase, on a 5+, the Infiltrators come back. No, they don't.
They're troops units, those.
Yeah, that's why it's a 5. And the Outriders are going to be doing the action on objective 6 as well. Start the shooting phase with the Battle Sisters, they're going to shoot the Wraiths. So I got 2 into the Storm Bolter, 1 at AP -1, and I used my Miracle Dice to guarantee 1.
So the normal one will be on a 3, which I've made, and then the 4 for the... yeah, I'll make that as well.
So they didn't do anything. Wraiths made all their saves. I'll do the Lieutenant, going to shoot his Neo-Bolkite pistol at the 2 Wraiths as well, because they're basically the only target. On 2s, he got 1 hit. That wounded on it with a 4.
3+, made it.
The Eliminators will shoot some Mortis rounds at the Wraiths on 2s. And 4s rerolling 1s, 6s do a mortal wound in addition. So 1 wound.
But with a mortal wound. So 4+ save, which I made, so mortal wound. The Aggressor Sergeant did 3 wounds to a Scarab base.
Suppressor's going to shoot at the Destroyers. So 4s because we moved, rerolling everything because Calgar's ability. That's 7 hits after the rerolls. Wounding on 3s. I'm going to spend a command point to do one of those because it'd be nice to do more damage. It's 5 wounds.
It's in the Devastator Doctrine, so -2. So we're on 5s. I only made 1, so that will kill 2 Destroyers outright. And then Reanimation does not get us a Destroyer back.
Dominus put the Serpenter into the Scarabs and failed to do anything, and then he'll try and finish off that Destroyer with the Volkite on 2s, getting 2 hits. 3s, because it's from 6. 6s do 2 mortal wounds in addition. It's just 2 wounds. 80 though.
He'll have cover though from the Hemojet Reactor from that point of view, so we do fail a save. We're down to 1 wound on that Destroyer. Calgar failed to finish it off, so leaving 1 Destroyer on a wound over there.
In the charge phase, the Aggressor Sergeant will charge the Scarabs. And down here, the Lieutenant's going to go and tie up the Wraiths. So the Lieutenant gets in. I'm actually going to pick him to fight first, so he'll... Here's 5 attacks on 2s. They all hit. Wounding on 4s. Getting 2.
And the 4+ invulnerable save. Failed 1, so it will kill a wounded Wraith, which does not come back. I'm actually going to spend 2 command points to interrupt with the Scarabs, and then another one to blow up that wounded base to hopefully wound the Aggressor Sergeant. So on a 2+, he takes mortal wounds. He takes D3 mortal wounds. 3, so he's dead. The Scarab won't consolidate into anything because it's my turn next, so there's no point. So just do the Wraith to hit the Lieutenant back. Only hits once. I did wound on a 3.
4+ invulnerable. New.
He's down to 3 wounds. But that will be the end of Imperium turn 1, and Objective 6 is now permanently under Imperial control because they've planted their banner on it. So we put that banner thing on it to represent that. And we're on to Necron's turn 2.
So I'm not going to pick a Doctrine Imperative. I will pick Benediction of the Ominous Eye for my Canticle though. Oh, my Miracle Dice is a 4.
And we're going to do Protocol of the Vengeful Stars. We'll do extra -1 AP on 6s to win with shooting. In my command phase, I gain 5 victory points because I've got my 5 banners. Put my win on the Warriors with the Gauss Flayers, and the Chronometron will go on the Immortals again because they're the only thing in range. And also the Quantum Orb goes off, but the only thing within 6 inches of it is the Outriders. So on a 4+, they'll take mortal wounds. Nope, nothing at all. In the movement phase, that Wraith will just hop over the pipe. It can fall back, shoot, and charge. The Scarabs have gone off into the middle of all those Space Marines. The Immortals will stay roughly where they are. The Chronomancer has moved across to be near the Death Marks. The Lich Guard have just shuffled slightly. They're going to stay in reserve for now. The Command Barge is moving up a little bit forward, following those Warriors, which have moved into the middle of the board. Plasmancer will jump over the blue container. The Crypto Thrall's moving up to the other side of the box. The other Warriors have moved forwards to get in range. The Scorpic Lord advanced to get through to there, and the Tomb Blades ran over there. And the Lone Destroyer will actually stay where it is. Harbinger of Destruction will hit the Outriders for 2 mortal wounds. On to shooting, we'll start with this Wraith. It'll shoot its 1 shot at the Assault Intercessors. Plasmarks will shoot next. He does 2 damage, so he's going to shoot at the Outriders. D3 shots, 2. Hitting on 3s, 2. And wounding on 3s, 1.
6.
Kills the wounded one. Chronomarks will also shoot at them. He's got 1 shot, hitting on 3. He missed. I will use the reroll here. He hit this time. He wounds on a 3. Yes, that's a wound.
Don't get killed because we're a bike. Nope.
D3 plus 3 damage will kill 1. Try and finish Sarge off with all these warriors in the middle because they're not in rapid fire range of anything else. We've got 5 wounds, but 3 of them were AP -2 thanks to the command protocol.
Necron from the pipe, so 2 4+. We made 1, and the 5+. Fell 2, so Sergeant down to 1.
Immortal's trying to finish him off, got 4 wounds, 1 of which was AP -3.
Black dice will be the AP -3 one, needing a 6. Yeah, Sergeant's dead.
Moving to the other side of the board, all of these warriors are within range of a Cataphrone Destroyer. Only got 4 wounds though, and no extra AP.
So 4 5+ saves. Oh, I made 2.
The Gauss Tombblade got 1 with AP -3.
Needing a 6. Nope.
Finishes off the Grabman. Tesla got 2 wounds, 1 of which had an extra AP.
Yeah, so the black dice is the AP -1. Needs a 4. White dice needs a 3.
They're fine. And same from the Particle Beamer.
Take a wound.
Command Bard will shoot them 3 times. Gets 3 hits. Wounds on 3s. Gets only 2 wounds.
So 6s. Nope.
So first one does kill the wounded one, and the second one does another 3. Kills the whole unit. 2 wounds on Skitarii from the Destroyer Lord.
So 5+ saves. 2 dead.
Finally, I've got the Death Marks. They're going to shoot the 3-man unit of Assault Intercessors over on the left-hand side. We got 4 wounds, 2 of which were AP -3 and also do a mortal wound.
So the black dice are the AP -3 again, needing 6s. White does need 5s. One of them survived.
One's left on a wound. Now the charge phase, the Scarabs up here will charge those Eliminators. Yep, they got in. The Wraith will charge the Battle Sisters.
Oh, well, Overwatch.
Unfortunately they did nothing, but they did get the command point back. So then it's charge roll, yeah, it'll be in. Then we've got this Destroyer which will charge those Assault Intercessors. I'm not going to use the Plasma Sight this time. And finally this other Scarab over here will charge into the Rangers. And that's it, I will do that Destroyer first.
I'm going to transhuman physiology on the Assault Intercessors.
3 attacks, which all hit, and wound on 4s. He kills 1. And the Wraith killed 2 Battle Sisters, and I'm going to blow up a Scarab base again. So the Eliminators don't take any mortal wounds. And then our normal attacks got 1 wound. And the lone Scarab base over here killed another Ranger. A smattering of wounds to some Scarabs, no damage to the Wraith, but then the 2 Assault Intercessors fighting back the Destroyer might actually matter.
I will use a command point for G-Walk Mine. So we've got 9 attacks on 3s, 6 auto wound. Well, we all hit and got an auto wound. And 5s. Well, that's what we need. 4 wounds in total. -1.
It dies. I roll one of those 2s. It still fails, so it does kill the Destroyer. So the Destroyer is destroyed, and then the Plasma Sight runs away as well. Well, that'll be the end of Necron's turn 2. On to Imperium turn 2.
So Calgar's Chapter Master's going on the Suppressors again, Skitarii Rangers falling back, Calgar moving up, Tech Priest Dominus are going to stay where he is as well. The 2 Assault Intercessors are going to shift a bit to hide behind the Hemotrope Reactor and then do the action on the objective. Over here the Battle Sisters are going to stay where they are, see if they can pistol the Wraith to death. The Lieutenant's going to come in and help them. Lone Assault Intercessor Sergeant's going to try and take out those Scarabs, or at least tie them up, while the Eliminators are going to fall back. So a bunch of things might come back. Infiltrators on a 5+? No. Cataphrons on a 5+? Yes. Aggressors on a 6? No. Outriders on a 6? No. So I'm going to bring in the Destroyers right behind the Tech Priest Dominus.
And because they're within an inch of their own battlefield edge and wholly within their own deployment zone, they can come in within 9 of those Scarabs as well.
So shooting over on my right flank, Battle Sisters fired their pistols at the Wraith, got a wound but it was saved. Lieutenant fired his pistol at the Scarabs and did 2 damage, and the Assault Intercessor Sergeant threw a grenade and missed. Do the Cataphrons. We're just going to put everything except the Flamers into those Warriors. Flamers are going to go into that Scarab base because it's the only thing in range. We roasted the Scarab Swarm, Phosphobatomist, and that's the 2d6 heavy plasma shots, so I'm not supercharging, so that's 11 shots with the heavy plasma. I can roll the plasma and the grav together because it's all going to be wounding on 3s and AP -3. So 16 shots from various weapons on 4s. I can re-roll one of these because Benediction is active. Nope. Only on 3s. 6 dead warriors.
Well, some of them have cover from the pipe. 6s? No. So 6 dead warriors. Does anything come back? Only 1 actually, but that still counts as being dead for the purposes of the secondary, so it could die again.
I'll shoot the suppressors at those warriors as well. 9 shots on 3s, rerolling everything. All those. 9 hits. And wounding on 3s. 8 wounds at AP -1.
8, 5 plus saves. No, anyway, 2, so that unit is destroyed. That's another 5 kills.
Tech Priest Dominus next. He's going to shoot the Tomb Blades. So 3 shots from the Volkite on 2s. Rerolling that one because of Benediction. Sorry, it should have been 3s to hit, so that 2 missed. So 2 hits, wounded on 3s, 6s do 2 mortal wounds in addition. Still 2 wounds normally, AP 0.
With 3s? Oh, we lose a Tomb Blade. Does it come back? It comes back, but it can be killed again. So forgot the Serpenta, which did do a wound, so the other one took a wound, and then we resurrected one in front of the Destroyer Lord, so he gets to look out, so. Yeah, and then Calgar fired at them, but didn't do anything either.
So in the charge phase, the Lieutenant will charge the Wraith. He got a 7, that's enough to get him over the pipe into contact. And then the Assault Intercessor Sergeant rolled a 9 and gets into base contact with both the Scarab bases. I'll do the Lieutenant first. I think I will spend a command point for Gene Wrought Might. 5 attacks on 2s, hitting. And in fact, I'll re-roll that as well. I want that Wraith to die. 5 hits. 3s. 3 wounds.
3, 4 plus saves. Failed 2 at the moment, but I will spend a command point because I don't want that Wraith to die. Reroll. Nope, it does die. So the Wraith is dead, and then the Assault Intercessor Sergeant killed a Scarab base and didn't die in return. And Objective 8 is now permanently under Imperial control. As we head into Necron's turn 3.
So I'm going to stay in the Tactical Doctrine for now, because most of my stuff will be arriving with rapid fire or assault weapons if it comes back on the board. I'm not going to choose a Doctriner. Canticle is going to be literally with the Electromancer, and my Miracle Dice was a 2.
And Command Protocol will be Hungry Void, and I'll go for the Directive, which is an extra -1 AP on 6s to wound with melee. In my command phase, I get another 5 victory points for my banners. This lone Scarab base has fallen back to stand in range of Objective 5 to stop the Imperium doing their action on it and raising their own banner. The Immortals have moved a little bit, the Command Barge is by them, the Chronomancers come into the middle to get in range, the Plasmancer moved across to be there, and the Cryptothors have moved to get both of them in range of safety. The Warriors will stay where they are, as will the Death Marks. The Lich Guards stay pretty much where they are as well. The Destroyer Lord is going to be brave and go and try and mint something, just to hold up all the forces over here as much as anything else. And the Tomb Blades have moved over here so that we can block off reinforcements coming in this side of the board, because I don't have many models left over here, so what I don't want is a unit just appearing and being nice and close to take all my objectives. Harbinger of Destruction hit the Eliminators, oh they're fine. And start shooting with all these Warriors shooting at those Eliminators. These Warriors did have My Will Be Done on them, but they only managed 3 wounds.
I'm going to have 2 plus saves, so I've got cover. I'll lose an Eliminator.
I'll do the Chronomancer at them, see if he can shoot one dead. He hit. He wounded. That's -3.
So 4 plus, because of all the cover. Nope. You know what, I'll reroll that. So reroll, into a success, do I get it back? Nope.
Plasmancer also at them. 2 shots. 1 of which hit. And it didn't wound. The Immortals are just going to try and shoot the Battle Sisters. Getting 3 wounds.
5s. 1.
Command Barge will shoot at the Eliminators, the only thing at range. It hit 3 times. Only wounds once.
4 plus again. Saved.
The Death Mark's got 2 mortal wounds and 3 wounds overall.
3 plus saves.
Made all the saves,
yeah,
but
so
2 mortal wounds will kill one. And lastly, the Destroyer Lord is probably going to charge and kill those Skitarii anyway, so we'll go into the suppressors. So spending command point for Transhuman Physiology, which didn't come back. They got 4 hits, which went on 4s, re-rolling 1s. Yeah. 3 wounds.
3 4 plus saves. Made them all.
Now, also in the shooting phase, the counter-temporal nanomines are going to go on the Assault Intercessor Sergeant. Well, I nearly forgot the Tomb Blades. They're going to shoot the 2 Assault Intercessors over by Objective 8. And that did 1 wound. So we've just got the 1 charge, which will be the Destroyer Lord into the Skitarii Rangers.
Overwatch.
Oh, I didn't get command point back, but the sniper wounded, and I made my save.
I'm going to supercharge the plasma. Gets a hit, reroll. 2 hits from the plasma. 3s. 1 wound.
4 plus. Made that.
Blast pistol. 3 shots. Gets a hit. 5s, wounds.
That was saved, yeah, -1.
Galvanic rifles, nothing, and the Arc rifle, rerolls, gets a hit, since 6, sorry, yeah, still wounded.
Made that save. And his charge is in. And he made it in, and he'll use his Flensing Claw to attack, so he gets 8 attacks, which hit on 2 re-rolling 1s. 7 hits. And wound on 2 re-rolling 1s. They all wound. None with an extra AP, those are all -1.
Bad roll. Yay, they're all dead.
They're all dead, so they might come back. Oh, and actually consolidated into the Tech Priest, so we get to see him fight for once.
Yeah, not for a long time. 3 attacks on 3s, getting 4s. 1 wound.
4 plus invulnerable. I've made it. But that'll be it for Necron's turn 3. On to Imperium turn 3.
So over on my left flank, Kjalma's chapter command went on the suppressors as usual, and everyone else has moved around the Hemotrope reactor to get away from the Destroyer Lord. Kjalma's going to duel him on his own. On my right, the Eliminator Sergeant's going to stay where he is. The Sergeant Sergeant's coming across, and then the Battle Sisters on the left hand are going to sort of durdle on the objective. Eventually we'll get control of it. Things might come back. Infiltrators on a 5. No. Skitarii Rangers. Yes. Yeah, that's all the troops. Aggressors on a 6. No. Outriders. No. I think that's it. Bringing the Skitarii over on this side of the battlefield. Well, up at the top, Sarge is going to throw a crack grenade at those Scarabs. Lieutenant failed to wound the Scarabs with his pistol, so the Flamer's going to have to deal with it. All the other bastards are going to shoot the Immortal. Got 3 wounds, 2 at AP -1 on the Immortals.
So the black dice is a normal save, which will be on a 2 because they're in cover, other ones are 3s. A model dies, which does not come back.
So we'll roast the last of the Scarabs, and then the Suppressors are going to shoot at the Tomb Blades. Just rerolling everything, hitting on 4s because we moved and they're not on to hit. 8 hits, 3s. 5 wounds at -1.
And 4s. Lose 2. Reanimating. Nope.
Kjalma will shoot at the Destroyer Lord. 4 shots on 2s. They all hit. And 5s. Nothing. The Catapult Destroyers can all see the Destroyer Lord, so we're going to put everything into him and supercharge the Plasmas as well. So, Flamers, 2d6 plus 4 hits for 11. Wounding on 5s. 3.
3s. It's fine so far.
Heavy Phosphor gets a hit. Didn't wound. Grav. 3 hits. 5s. 1 wound.
Invulnerable? Nope, that's
2 damage. 2d6 heavy plasma shots. 10.
Oh dear.
And I'll reroll one of those ones. So 6 hits.
And 1 more to wound themselves.
3s. 2.
I didn't get the command point back, so 2 4 plus invulnerable saves. Oh, 2 fails will kill him, so I will reroll 1. Into success, so he's alive on 2 wounds.
So the Skitarii Rangers will put the arc rifle and the sniper into the command barge, and then everything else into the crypto thralls. So arc rifle on a 3 hits. 3s. Nope. Sniper missed. And galvanic rifles on 4s because they're heavy weapons and we moved. 5s because crypto thralls are beefy. 3 wounds. -1.
4s. Oh, made them.
And a single plasma shot not supercharged. Hit. Wounded. Second shot missed.
Didn't make a save, so 8 damage.
Eliminator Sergeant. He'll shoot the Destroyer Lord with a mortis round. Hit. Didn't wound.
And the 2 Assault Intercessors failed to even hit the Tomb Blade.
Kjalma's charge. You only got 3. A little bit annoying. But he's going to go like here. Then I'll pick him to fight first so he gets around there. Just get in range of the suppressors basically. Kjalma's got 7 attacks as he charged, hitting on 2s. They will hit. And 3s. 5 wounds.
5 invulnerable saves. Failed 2, so I will reroll 1. Still failed.
At the end of my turn, I'm going to retreat this Assault Intercessor Sergeant.
So the unit might come back on again. Well, that's it, on Necron's turn 4. So, protocol will be Conquering Tyrant, and we'll go for the increased aura ranges because nobody's going to need to fall back and shoot, because no one's in melee. Space means automatically into your Assault Doctrine. My countercall is going to be Invocation of Machine Vengeance, because I'm going to have to do some advancing to get anywhere. And my Doctrine is going to be Protector, which is the +1 Ballistic skill, that's one weapon skill on. And the Miracle Dice was a 3. In my command phase I gain another 5 victory points, going to 15, so that actually maxes out on the banners, so I'm not going to worry about those anymore. The important thing about that is it means that the Imperium have to hold 5 objectives to win. 4 will not be enough because of that 15 from the secondary. Then my Will Be Done went on the Immortals, as did the Chronometron, and they've moved over here with the command barge to take care of these Rangers. Then in the middle, the Warriors have shuffled across, the 2 Cryptex are behind them, the Crypto Thralls have come around the box. The Lich Guard are going to stay where they are, they're my insurance, basically, against something peering and doing nasty things. The Death Marks will stay on their roof, and the Lone Tomb Blade will stay there because it is blocking off still the side of the board. Harbinger of Destruction is actually closest to the 2 Assault Intercessors over on the right flank. They take 2 mortal wounds, Sarda is down to 1. Shooting phase will start with the Immortals at these Rangers, and we'll spend a command point for Relentless Onslaught because they have to die. 8 shots on 2, 6s are an additional hit. We're going to miss, but then turns into a hit thanks to that 6. And 3s. 6 wounds.
6s. 6 dead.
So then the Lone Tomb Blade will try and finish off the Sergeant. They've got 4 wounds, thanks to a good hit roll.
3 3+, made them all.
All these warriors are going to shoot with the suppressors. They've got 4 wounds, but they've got cover.
4 3+ saves. Oh, if I have 2 on those, no, I'll reroll one. The reroll, so it's still a fail. I get the command point back at least.
I'll do the Plasmancer at them next.
I'll transhuman the 2 remaining suppressors.
Then we've got D3 shots, 2, hitting on the 3s, just 1, and I will Technoreactor targeting, I think, to automatically wound.
5+. No.
Shows another one. Chronomancer's just out of range of that sergeant, so he'll shoot the Eliminator sergeant instead. And missed. Command Barge is going to shoot these Skitarii, because there's a likelihood with only 4 attacks he won't kill them in melee. 2 wounds.
6+ invulnerable. No, 2 dead.
Finally we've got the Death Marks, they're going to try and kill the Suppressor Sergeant. On 2s. They hit 4 times. They're winning on 4s because the Transhuman says 2 wounds, -2.
4s. Third one, he's still alive.
And then 1 charges the Command Barge into the 2 remaining Rangers. Oh, he fails. I will re-roll that. That's probably enough. That's enough, so it has 4 attacks on 2s. Well, 1 and 2s again. It's only 2 wounds. 6+ invulnerable save will save them.
Damn it.
Oh, one is alive with the Outmaul as well.
Look out. You missed.
Oh, and then he has to take a morale test.
Don't roll a 1. Yeah, he runs away.
He runs away, so they might come back again. So that's the end of Necron's turn 4. On to Imperium turn 4.
So, Suppressor Sergeant's moved up normally, so he can try and finish off the Tomb Blades. The Successor Sergeant has moved and advanced. The Cataphrons, the Dominus have moved around so they can all see the Warriors. Calgar's moved up as well to see the Warriors. Calgar's chapter ability went on the Suppressor Sergeant. Lieutenant's going to be doing the action this turn. Finally take Objective 5. Baptist has advanced. Just about got the Flamer in range of the Crypto Thralls. Eliminator Sergeant's going to stay where he is. Relying pretty heavily on things coming back. So, Infiltrators, no. Skitarii Rangers, no. Assault Intercessors, no. So those are all the troops. Outriders, no. Aggressors, no. Well, we're going to try and shoot that Tomb Blade. 3 shots on 4s, re-rolling everything. Doesn't need the re-rolls. 3s. Going to re-roll one of those. 2 wounds at -1.
4s. Oh, it dies.
Got the Flamer from the Battle Sisters on the Crypto Thralls. 6 hits. You know what, we'll guarantee 1. Not really using up River Dice or anything else. 4 wounds.
2 of which have extra AP.
Yeah.
Which will be on 3s because we're behind cover. That's a wound. 2 on 2s.
The Eliminator Sergeant will try and pick off Crypto Thrall as well. He hit. Oh, wounded and did mortal wound.
So the save is made, so the mortal wound will just kill 1, which does not come back.
Do the Tech Priest Dominus, he's going to shoot at the Crypto Thralls.
Serpenter also killed a warrior, which came back, but there's another kill.
And then Volkite on the Crypto Thralls, hitting on 3s because we moved. Well, they all hit. 3s, 6s do 2 mortal wounds in addition. Well, it's 4 mortal wounds.
No, they did.
And then the Cataphrons are going to put everything into the Warriors. Flamers are out of range, unfortunately. Not supercharging the Plasma either. So, Phosphor Bats have missed. Shots for the Plasma. Oh, it's only 3. 8 shots on 4s. And 3s. Ugh, 2 dead Warriors.
2 in cover. Oh, saved 1. And does the other one come back? Yes. 1 wound from Calgar. I had to put it on the one who took shots already, who's in cover. Is dead. It comes back.
And Calgar is going to try and charge those Warriors just to get on the objective. Oh, needs a big roll. 7.
Well, that was just enough, so he stands on top of the objective.
7 attacks from Calgar on 2s and 5. Smashes 4 of them.
And 1 comes back. And unsurprisingly, they didn't do any damage in return. So that will be the end of Imperium turn 4.
Yeah, I think I'm going to concede at this point. I could probably get 1 more. The unlikely about the Suppressor lives, you can get that one on the bottom right. I probably can't get more than that though. If more units come back, possibly.
Yeah, the problem is that units coming back in turn 5 are not in range of objectives. Calgar is standing on that objective, but it remains mine if I have more than 1 model. And I've got the Lich Guard there in reserve as well. Yeah, because I've got the 15 from the secondary, if I hold 4 objectives, I'll have 75 victory points in total. The Imperium are going to get 2 or 3 from their secondary, which means they need to hold 5 objectives to have more than 75, but it seems very unlikely at this point. So yeah, we'll call that a Necron victory and recap the game for you now. So that was the game for issue 79 of Warhammer 40,000 Imperium magazine. How did you think that went?
It ended up going better than I thought it was going by turn 2. I mean, it felt like I was clawing it back just because your army was getting whittled down.
It did come down to basically you had 2 models on 1 wound each that could have gone to take objective 4, it would have been. I would have thought I would have been able to kill them, but even if they'd been able to get into objective 4 and you'd been able to take that one that Kjalma was standing on, you still would have been able to win.
Fortunately, I think the way this scenario goes, basically whoever goes first has such a huge advantage because you're so close to each other. If I'd gone first, I could have easily taken 4 objectives in my first turn and shot at you with some really powerful shooting units.
Yeah, and you would have been able to take all those objectives and then retain them for the rest of the game. I only won that game because I was able to hold one of the objectives that was in no man's land.
But I think I did have some bad rolling in the first few turns, but if I'd done a bit better, like if I'd managed to free up the Skitarii and the Cataphrons a turn earlier, the Baptistas as well, I would have been able to claw it back, I think.
I also had made some good save rolls on like the Wraiths and the Destroyer Lord as well, so that wasted shooting from you.
Or even if I just had a few more units return from being destroyed. The Cataphrons made a huge difference. And actually, after the third turn, when you can go in your opponent's deployment zone, it's actually a really huge area you can bring stuff back in.
Yeah, and it does mean you have to start watching your home objectives towards the end of the game. Yeah, I was running out of units towards the end, so just a fast unit being able to nip in and take an objective could have done it.
And in hindsight, Annihilation is really bad secondary objective. Should have just done attrition.
Yeah, with attrition, you could actually have got potentially the 15. I don't know how it would have panned out with each battle round. We weren't keeping track. Then again, because I chose Raise the Banners and was able to max it out, that counted effectively for another objective, so it didn't matter what objective you took as long as you scored some points.
Yeah.
You need some points so that taking 5 objectives will give you the win. Nice that they tried a different kind of scenario, just possibly needed a little bit more thought, because the secondary objective was a waste of time. I suppose if we'd both taken the secondary objective, that would have functioned as a bit of a tiebreaker.
Yeah,
it makes no sense for me to take it, though, because I have to kill 10 2-wound Space Marines to get 1 victory point out of it. It's just, even with your units coming back, that's just not worth it.
Yeah, and if Annihilation was actually forced, I think they would really hamper you, because Resurrection... You didn't get many models back with Resurrection, but that's basically just going to be a free victory point.
Yeah, and I mean, I didn't actually bring anything like the Technomancer or the Reanimator, so I didn't get so many models back, because I knew that was just giving you more points, although I think in the scheme of things it wouldn't have mattered very much. And again, going first made much more of a difference than that would have done. But I mean, narratively, the objective was to draw out the larger Necron force so that a smaller strike force could infiltrate the Dolmen Gate, which will be in the final mission. So you kind of won anyway. You took heavy losses. This strategy cost the Imperium dearly.
Yeah, and because of Guilliman's master strategy. Although I guess if the Necrons win, then you dealt with my distraction swiftly enough, so you didn't need reinforcements. I don't know. Unfortunately, it's not going to make a difference in the outcome of the next game.
No, there's no actual relevance. It's just for the story purposes. So we'll see what happens in the next game, which obviously would have been the final game. It'd certainly be the conclusion of the fighting for Kjalma's skull. But stay tuned for that, and obviously the Primarch Guilliman himself will be joining the fight next issue, so that should be interesting. Just once again, a reminder, these games will stay in 9th edition till the end, just because that's what the magazine does. If you did enjoy the video, then let us know in the comments below, leave a like and subscribe. We've been the Tabletop Donkeys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye for now.